Most guys think the longer they train, the more muscle they will build. But what if I told you that's the exact reason why you're not growing? You probably don't need a 6-day split in a week. You don't need to hit 2 hours gym session or to hit 20 sets on your chest just to feel like you're doing enough. Because the truth is, result doesn't come purely how long you have been in the gym. They come from how hard you can train and how consistently you could do it. And that's when I learned something that completely flipped the switch for me. The best workout split for building a aesthetic physique is purely the one that you could stick to. So in this video, I'll be showing you how you can build a workout split that fits your life, still hit every single aesthetic muscle group that you want to grow, and finally getting that lasting progress that doesn't burn you out. So let's get straight into it. First up, you know what's funny? Most guys don't quit the gym because they don't have discipline. They're built to plan that requires them to have unrealistic amount of discipline. Maybe in the future, they would have that amount of discipline. But right now, it's unrealistic for them to even just survive. Like, I used to train 7 days a week. Like, literally every single day, 2-hour session. It sounded cool to say that, oh yeah, I was that hardcore guy who always trained and never skipped one session. But after a year, I was absolutely cooked, both physically and mentally. Recovery went to the garbage bin, motivation's tanking down, and when my life got busier, like when exams are coming up, when I have to study late and work starts to pile up, I just don't have the 2 extra hours to spend in the gym anymore. So I did what most people do when they can't keep up. I started skipping just one day, and then another one, and then by the time I realized it, a whole week has passed. And then I was already gonna tell myself that, screw it, I'm just gonna focus and then I will start again next month. But here's the messed up part. I didn't quit because I hated training. I actually loved training. I quit because I felt guilty. I built this crazy workout split that is supposed to make me feel aesthetic as fuck and unstoppable, but instead it just made me feel like I wasn't doing enough unless I killed myself every single session. That guilt destroyed my consistency way more than any amount of laziness could. And the same thing happens to a lot of guys. They'll follow some influencer push-pull legs routine that is like 6 days a week, with the amount of sets that's guaranteed for you to have to spend 2+ hours in the gym, maybe even 3. Wait, no, wait, that 5's coming up. 3, okay? And then for a few weeks, yeah, they may keep up with the plan, but the moment they miss one day, they act like the whole progress is ruined. Like missing one session means they have blow up every gains they made that week. So instead of adjusting, they just quit altogether. And it's not their fault, because no one has ever told them the truth, that no plan is perfect, and that they don't have to follow a plan 100% to make result. What actually matters isn't doing the most or doing it the most perfect way, it's just doing it consistently, and work hard enough to make it count. That's why the best workout split for an aesthetic physique isn't the most intense one and takes the most time out of your day. It's the one that fits your life, the ones that lets you show up, train hard and recovery, and still have time and energy for your life. Like when I switched from 6 days a week to 5, maybe even 4 or 3, literally half of my workout time, my progress didn't just drop out of nowhere. It actually even skyrocketed. I had more energy, more focus, I stopped dreading my workouts, and actually looking forward to training again. Because for the first time, my plan didn't control me, I controlled my plan. And that's what I want you to understand too. You don't need to earn your gains through exhaustion every single day. You can earn them through just consistency and intensity, not purely the amount of time you spend in the gym breathing, suffering. Once you realize that, you will never look at training the same way again. Alright, so now let's actually break down why training less time, if done right, could actually lead to you building more muscle and your physique looking way more aesthetic. Alright, so imagine this. If you strip away all the fancy workout split, the long session, the fitness jargon, then muscle growth only comes down to 3 things. Training intensity, recovery, and frequency. That's it. Not how many days you spent in the gym. Not how complicated your routine looks. Just those 3. So let's start with frequency. Like I said, frequency of the days you need to train in the gym could varies. But what about how often you train each muscle group? What's the sweet spot? There's a study that compared people who train a muscle group once a week to 2 and 3 times a week with the same amount of volume. That means one person, if they train one muscle group once per week, they could do, let's say, 5 sets for chest. Then the person who does chest for 2 times a week, 2 times, will split that 5 sets. Maybe they do 3 sets on one day and 2 sets on another, and 3 days and 4 and 5, you name it. And the difference was massive between once a week to twice a week. But twice a week to 3 times a week, not that much. So that means if you just switch from hitting one muscle group from once a week to twice a week, you're already doing enough to make around 80 to 90% of possible gains you could make. Which is pretty decent considering you get your life together and maybe still building stuff. Not just your physique, but actual family relationship, your business, your school grades, whatever. So if you've been killing yourself just to follow a 6-day plan just to try to feel productive, congratulations, because with this info, you can finally breathe. You can build an aesthetic physique with just up to 2 days of training a week, maybe 4, 5, 6, 2 to 6 days a week. Your choice. Depends on how busy you are. But here's where most people get this wrong. They confuse time spent in the gym with effort given. 2 hours of half-ass effort won't beat 60 minutes of full focus, intense training. That's why I switched to a low volume, high intensity type of training. Instead of doing 5 to 6 sets per exercises, I'll just do 1 to 2 sets all out to absolute failure. That meant no distraction, no scrolling mid-set, no half-ass rep. Just focus fully on the task I'm given and push it as hard as I can, preferably to absolute failure, or at least just to mechanical failure. I've explained that term quite a bit in the past, but I'll just put it in a nutshell. Absolute failure means you can't push the weight physically 11 millimeters away, and mechanical failure means you can't push another rep with good form. And when you do that right, you don't need 20 sets just to grow. They're already screaming for recovery after just 2. And this is where the second part comes in. Recovery. Recovery is half of the game when it comes to building an aesthetic physique. It's where muscle actually is built. If you are constantly under-recovered, like just sleeping 5 hours a day, eating random junk food, playing video games, cursing at your teammate in league, and still training 6 days a week, your body is not building. It's just destroying itself. It's on survival mode. And when I decided to train less and prioritize my recovery more, my strength skyrockets. My recovery actually improved, which leads to my muscle looking fuller, and I'm actually building more muscle with that. Actually feeling stronger walking into every single session, instead of having to drag myself in like a half-dead corpse. That's what you should be chasing, not more workouts, but better workouts. And that leads us to the third part, what you should actually be focusing when you're training. For building an aesthetic physique, it isn't about just training everything randomly. You need to prioritize the muscle group that actually makes you look aesthetic. I call them the aesthetic 9. The neck, upper traps, upper chest, lateral delts, lats, tricep, bicep, forearms, and abs. If you train each one of those muscles twice a week, even with short, focused workouts, your physique will change way faster than you think. That's because you're not wasting energy on too much things. You're directing it mostly on where it matters. And that's the beauty of this approach. It's efficient. It gives you more result in less time and keep you consistent because you're not burning yourself out. You can make it fit around your schedule, even if it's 2 days, 3 days, up to 6 days a week. The secret isn't just more volume, it's smarter structure and actually going all in on all the sets that you do. And once you understand that, you can finally stop overthinking on your workout split. In fact, let me show you how to build a workout split that fits your lifestyle step by step. Alright, so now you actually know how muscle growth works. Let's build a split that fits your life instead of ruining it. Because the best workout plan isn't the one you download on a shady website that forced you to watch like 10 ads. It's the one that you can actually stick to and do on long term. Here's how I designed it step by step. Step 1, know how many days you can realistically train this week. Not like your dream number, like, oh, I want to train 7 days a week. Like, be realistic, have some humility to yourself. If you're slammed with work or school, maybe it's just like 2 to 3 days this week. If you got more time, maybe 4 or 5. The point is, don't build a split around motivation or like you're thinking you could fit this much time in. Build it around your schedule. Think that how many days I could absolutely train this week. Like think about the worst case scenario that could possibly happen. Because the more sustainable it is, the higher chance you could actually stick to it. Step 2, decide how long each session will be. Some guys have an hour per session. Some guys only have 30 minutes. Both can work, as long as you use that time with pure focus. Remember, 1 hard set with absolute focus beats 5 hard set where you're scrolling mid-set and doing half of your potential reps. Like those are just warm-up sets. Step 3. Figuring out how much set you could fit in that time. A solid working set is usually around 5 to 7 minutes, including rest time. So if you got like 45 minutes, realistically you could fit like 6 to 8 hard working sets in that workout. That's more than enough for like a lot of muscle groups when you're pushing close to failure. Step 4. Structure it so it hits the right muscle. Ideally, the aesthetic 9. These are the muscles, like I said before, makes your body looks good in any angle. Make sure you hit them at least twice a week. That can be with any split, which probably for me at least 2 days a week. So you can hit like full body, or push-pull legs, or upper-lower, whatever. The name of the split doesn't matter. You can just like Frankenstein those split. The execution matters way more. And step 5, just keep taking action even if it's not perfect. 80% of a good plan done consistently would always beat 100% of a perfect plan that you're gonna quit 2 weeks later. Don't wait till everything's right. Don't panic if you miss 1 day or 2. Just adjust and keep going. And if this sounds too complicated for you to set up on your own, don't stress this because I've built a free aesthetic focused workout routine for you in the description down below for absolutely free, so you can download it and start training with the same structure that I use. But if you want to take it a step further and actually have a group of guys who are going to hold you accountable, pushing you both mentally and physically, with contacting me 24/7 for any fitness question you want to ask about, then you would want to check the top link description down below. It will be my private community. It's for young men who want to live this aesthetic lifestyle long term. So if you're interested in that, I'll be waiting for you on the inside. But if you're not ready for that yet, no problem. Just grab the aesthetic workout routine that I just told you about and just start taking action right away. Because once you realize your plan doesn't need to be perfect, you just have to be consistent with it, then you will finally stop overthinking. And then you will start making the gym something you want to do instead of having. And that's it for today's video, and if this video helped you a lot, click here to watch another video that YouTube recommends on my channel, because if this video brings a lot of value to you, I'm sure this one will also.